Everyone, today in this session let's discuss about addressing modes. We know the program operates on the data which resides in computer's memory. Therefore, we need a method to access this data. The different ways in which the location of the data or location of an operand is specified in an instruction is called addressing modes. So here we have the different kinds of addressing modes. So let's go in detail about them. We know variables and constants are the simplest form of data available in a program. In assembly language, a variable is assigned by allocating register or a memory location to hold its value. Therefore, with respect to variables, we will be using two kinds of addressing modes. One is register mode and the other one is absolute mode. So here the register or the memory location will be holding the value of the variable. For example, if you go through this instruction move LOC comma R2. So here the data which is present in the location LOC is need to move to R2. Therefore, the variable is present in the location LOC or the variable may be present in register R2. Therefore, with respect to variable, you will be using register or a memory location to hold the data. For example, if you go with another instruction that is integer a comma b. So in this high level language program, it will cause the compiler to allocate the memory location to each of the variables a and b. So this is about the variables. So variables are using the addressing modes with respect to register mode and absolute mode. You can use the register to hold the data, or you can use the memory location to hold the data. Now with respect to constant, we will go with the next kind of addressing mode that we call it as immediate mode. So we call them it as immediate mode. So here you can see, so this is an instruction we have represented for an immediate addressing mode. It says move 200 immediate comma R0. It says that you need to move the data nothing but 200 to the location R0. So immediate says that this is a digital value or the integer value we are using. So this is an immediate. Right, the data is given directly in the instruction in the previous case, whereas in register mode or absolute mode the data was supposed to be held in register or a memory location, right? Whereas in immediate addressing mode, the data what you want to move, that is directly given an instruction. That is why it is called as immediate addressing mode. But writing an instruction like this, like 200 with a suffix of immediate, it is not appropriate. Therefore, instead of this, we will rewrite this instruction like this, where move sharp sign is used to indicate that it is an immediate value. This is your value 200 that you need to move to R0. So with respect to variables and constants, with respect to variables we deal with register mode and absolute mode, and with respect to constant we do use immediate mode. So in both both in variables and constant, the addressing modes what we have used, they are the different way we have used to represent the data, right? In register mode we use register to hold the data. In absolute mode we use the memory location to hold the data, whereas in immediate mode the data was given directly in an instruction. So let's move with indirection and pointer. So here in indirect mode what we are using, we will give only the information from which you will get the location, from which you will get the memory location where your data is present, right? Till now we use the register, we use the memory location where your data is present. Now we will give you only the information from which you will get the memory address of the operand. That address we call it as effective address. That address we call it as effective address. In register mode the data was present in register. In absolute mode the data was present in memory location. In indirect mode we say, in indirect mode we will give the information from which we will get the memory location, the memory address of the operand where the data is present, and that address we call it as effective address. With respect to that, we have indirection and pointers. With respect to indirect, we will say indirect addressing mode. So in indirect addressing mode, the effective address of the operand, it will be present either in a register or in a memory location. So this is the representation we have. So these two examples, what we are showing, they are the example of indirect addressing. So here we will not give the location where the data is present. Instead, we will give you the information from which you will get the memory address of your operand. So let's into the first one. Example A. So that is through general purpose register. The instruction what we have written here, add R1 comma R0. You can see R1 is written in an parenthesis which says that it is a memory location. When you are writing the parenthesis, we have to say that it is in memory location. So add R1 comma R0. It says that first we have to fetch the data which is present in R1. So now what R1 is giving? R1 will not give you the data. It will give you the information about the memory location where your data is present. Now R1 is holding B, where this B is not your data, but instead this is the address of your memory location. So this is the address of your memory location. If you go to that location, your operand is present. Right. So you have to take the data, then add with R0 and store the result in R0. This is with respect to general purpose register. If you are using a memory location, now you can see add A. Again A is written in parenthesis. So we have, if you are writing in parenthesis, then we will say that it is in memory location, comma R0. Now A will not give you the data, the location of the data. Instead, it will give you the location from where you have to get the data, right? So you can see the A you have moved. This A is holding the location B, right? If you go to that location B, there your data is present. From there you have to fetch the data and perform the addition with R0 and store the result in R0. So in the previous case, what we have dealt in a register mode or absolute mode, so there the are as in immediate mode, the data was directly present or directly it was given in register or it was stored in memory location. Now we are not going to give you the exact address. It is not like explicitly given. We will give you only the information from where you can get the memory address of your operand. So this is the example of an indirect addressing mode. So we have an address, we call that as address as effective address. Effective address, nothing but EA. We call it as EA. So this effective address is nothing but the information from where you will get the memory address of the data, the information about the memory address. So we will be giving you only the information from which the memory address of the operand can be determined, and this address is called as effective address. So this is generally will be used in indirect addressing mode. So it can be a general purpose register or it can be a memory location. So here in the first example I have already said you, so R1 is holding you the memory location. If you go to that memory location, you will get the data. Similarly, if you are using a memory location, then A is holding again the location. From if you go to that location, you can fetch your data.